Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Ruxin Live, everyone's favorite live slash unedited channel. So if you're confused about why there isn't a normal intro, why there isn't a "it's time to do a whoosh," that's because you're on Ruxin Live. You're on my second channel, which, by the way, if you haven't hit subscribe already, you want to do that because you're gonna get some really awesome content over here. That's basically news, bad news, a lot of bad news. Hopefully not more bad news. Hopefully be less bad news, but. Recently, we've had a lot of controversy around the Edison / Time Wizard format, and that was a couple of weeks ago. And it seemed like at the beginning, they said, hey, we're changing Edison format, we're changing Time Wizard. You're no longer allowed to use the old school rules, you're using the current rulings. Well, guess what happened? Everybody got really upset. We all complained. We all said this is ridiculous. And Konami said, that might be something to this. I think we might have made a mistake. And they said, okay, fine. You guys can go back to playing however you want at your OTS store, and possibly in the future, after Nat's side events, you're going to be able to play Time Travel, which is our new one, or maybe Time Wizard. We're not sure about that yet. And everybody was like, you know, that's better than it could have been. So that's not too bad. We'll take that as a win. Now, what happened since then? A big update. That's what happened. So let's just talk about this. They did that. They took away everyone that was traveling to Nats. They said, actually, you're not going to be able to play Ultimate Time Wizard. We're not having an Ultimate Time Wizard at Nats. We're actually not even doing Ultimate Time Wizard. Everybody freaked out. They said, we'll bring back Time Wizard. But the problem was there still wasn't an Ultimate Time Wizard tournament. So everyone traveling to Nats ended up going to the R-Bet because E3 Yu-Gi-Oh! Keegan set up a whole other tournament so that if you were already traveling to Nats, you couldn't refund your flights, couldn't refund your hotels, you would have somewhere to play. So everyone went, including myself, and signed up for the R-Bet. So now we're all playing at a tournament in Indy, but it's not at the current the venue of the actual tournament going on, like the actual Nats. So we're going to be at a different place just a few minutes down the road playing Edison. Why does this matter? Well, there's an update today. This is why it matters. Konami just put out the schedule, I guess, for Saturday, July 12th, when we will all be there, except some of us will be at the R-Bet. And take a look at this. There's an Ultimate Time Wizard tournament scheduled for 11 a.m. What happened to no Ultimate Time Wizard? Here it is. So, like, in theory, this should be great news. Yay, Ultimate Time Wizard. But the problem is everyone who wanted to play Ultimate Time Wizard is playing in the R-Bet. So how is this going to work? Like, I don't know why they did this. Is this to say like, hey, we're bringing back Ultimate Time Wizard? The problem is when nobody shows up because they're already scheduled for another tournament on Saturday, same time, basically. No one's going to go to this Ultimate Time Wizard. And then are they going to go, oh, look, nobody showed up for Ultimate Time Wizard last time, so we're not going to do it anymore because nobody came to the one in Indy? Well, it's because we're already signed up somewhere else, right? That's not what they're, hopefully that doesn't happen. Well, I don't know why else they would do this, though, because they know, maybe it's because they know everyone else signed up for the unofficial tournament. And they're like, well, we're going to make our own tournament so that you will sign up for ours instead and split the pool. And I don't know. Well, there's more things to this. So Ultimate Time Wizard, also it's here. Let me show, there was something else I wanted to show you guys. So here's where you can register. You get in here, submit your deck list, do all this stuff, $25 to get in. You get 5 packs or whatever, and then you do the normal thing. So yeah, that's not anything too crazy. Well, look at this. Where is it? There's also a new cool thing I want to show you guys, if I can find it. Cool, but also I'm still confused about what they were doing here. I saw it earlier, and now I have to scroll to it. It's about basically top cut. They actually extended the top cut based on the number of players in the tournament. Now, here's the problem. I can't figure out where it was, and I want to show you guys this because it actually extends the top cut past top 8, which is what the Ultimate Time Wizard used to be. Max would be 8 top cut. Here we go. Okay, Ultimate Time Wizard. Let's read this. Time Wizard uses the available cards forbidden list and limited list and games rules from the era determined by the chosen format, which was the whole big thing we were complaining about, was they decided to not use it from the era determined from by the chosen format. They decided to use the current format rules, I guess, to play the old format, which made it all weird. So obviously we didn't like that. So they changed it back. They fixed that. Well, now they said it's going to be Swiss and playoff cut, which is normal, but it's all dependent on the number of participants. So 4 to 8, you'd have a top 2. There's going to be more than 8 probably, even though there's a whole other tournament going on. Well, you get all the way down, It's top 8 if you start at 17 to 32. So the weird part is it's top 8 all the way up to 256. So anywhere from 32 to 256 players is going to have a top 8. They don't extend it after that. It's like a very big range to have top 8. Well, if you get up anywhere above 256 players, there's a top 16. So there's 257 players, top 16. And they've never done that before. It's always been top 8, which is pretty cool, actually, that they're doing this, extending the top cut to actually be more players. And I also saw somewhere about the prizing. Where was that? They updated the prizing as well to where you get a giant card. No, that might actually not be new. You get a giant card, and then the second and third gets like a half-size giant card, those smaller giant cards. I don't know where it is, just because there's so much info on here, it's impossible to find anything. Well, I'm just confused by this announcement. It's a big announcement. It's good to see the Ultimate Time Wizard is back. The question is it only for this event? I hope that's not the case, and they're going to keep bringing Ultimate Time Wizard back every YCS like it was before, and they're going to have up to 512-man tournaments or whatever, so that way we can have top 16s, we can have giant card giveaways, which are, you know, really great pricing compared to even the main event. The problem is there's another tournament going on, and it's just confusing. They said there wasn't going to be an Ultimate Time Wizard, so Keegan made an entire other tournament. So people signed up for it, including me, which if you hadn't said that, I would just be playing in the Ultimate Time Wizard and there wouldn't be an R-bet. Like he didn't plan on having an R-bet. He only did the R-bet because people were getting screwed basically by having to wait or having to waste money because they were going to have to fly there and use their hotel. They wanted to back out. They couldn't because they wouldn't let them. So they're out a lot of money because there was no Ultimate Time Wizard. If they just didn't say there was no Ultimate Time Wizard, then this wouldn't have been a problem. There never would have been an R-bet because there are bets in other locations, but he did an emergency one essentially because everyone was like, I can't get out of my flight. I have to go to Nats, but I have nothing to play. But now there is an Ultimate Time Wizard. Why? I just don't understand. Because now the numbers are going to look really bad because even if some people drop out of the R-bet and go to the Ultimate Time Wizard, which I hope they don't do because Keegan literally set this up to save us. Like everybody who was going to travel there and had something scheduled and they couldn't get rid of it. They couldn't get out of their flight, couldn't get out of their hotel. He did this tournament just for us. So I would hope that nobody drops out of that because of what he did for us to make sure we had somewhere to play. So that means if people don't drop out, the 256 or whatever that are playing in the R-bet, the Ultimate Time Wizard just lost 256 players that were going to play. So the tournament is going to be 256 players lighter. Like that's just how it's going to be. I'm just so confused. If you guys have any, let me know your thoughts about this in the comments because I want to see, because I have the little conspiracy theory that's thinking they don't like Ultimate Time Wizard. We complained about it, so they brought it back. Now they drop it during the other tournament, knowing that there will be less players so that they can then point to, hey, it didn't do well, that tournament. My little conspiracy brain is thinking, Conspiracy Ruxin is thinking, I don't really like where this is headed because maybe they say, guys, we only had 48 players for it, or we had 14 players because everyone was at the R-bet. They're not going to say that. We're not going to do it anymore. We can't do Ultimate Time Wizard. It just didn't work out good enough or whatever. So I'm really worried that happens. I'm hoping that this is just an innocent Konami. It's not innocent. It's not. But if it is, yeah, we saw you wanted Ultimate Time Wizard. We're going to give it to you. We're going to put it at every YCS, Nats, all that different stuff so that you have the option to play. We don't care if it has 4 players. We don't care if it has 512. I hope that's the case, but I feel like it's either the conspiracy that I had or they saw the competition of the R-bet and said, we're not allowing that to like blow up while we don't do an Ultimate Time Wizard. But I don't even know why they would care that much, but it's Konami, so you never know. So I am a little worried. I'm a little worried. It seems like it should be good news, but because of the whole situation and the R-bet already having 200, I think it capped at 256. Because that's already happening, it makes me worried about this Ultimate Time Wizard thing, which, by the way, there's an Ultimate Time Wizard day 2. So I guess that's a top cut only because I think they only do like 6 rounds. But if it was 512, they might do more than that. I'm not exactly sure. So let me know your thoughts in the comments for this Ruxin Live video. It's not even really, I'm not even really complaining. I'm just wondering, I'm wondering what's going on here. Why is there an Ultimate Time Wizard now? There wasn't before, now there is. They walked back the previous statement and now they're walking back to have what they said about no Ultimate Time Wizard. Now there is one. I'm just confused. So let me know in the comments what you think is going on here. Let me know. Were you not gonna play in the R-Bet and you might play in the Ultimate Time Wizard? And maybe there'll be some players in it? I don't know, because it might be actually a really good chance to win a giant card because everyone else is playing Edison elsewhere. And then like there's less players, so it's easier to win. I really don't know. I'm a little confused by this, and I've kind of rambled on for long enough. So subscribe to Ruxin Live if you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments, and I will continue to do them. I'm confused. I really hope this isn't like malicious, but we'll see. Goodbye.